Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about one of the latest rumors that's swirling around Philadelphia Eagles football. You know what I'm saying? This cornerback position has become a thorn in my side, actually. We want another cornerback so bad. And the media understands this. The media understands, the gripes and concerns of the fan base. They get it, which is why we getting the clicks that we getting. They're talking about Xavien Howard, disgruntled cornerback from the Miami Dolphins, a bona fide star. Let's make no mistake about that. A bona fide star. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, understand that Xavien Howard is one of them ones and drastically improves the secondary. If the Philadelphia Eagles were to acquire such a talent, you know what I mean, in that position, paired with Darius Slay, you got the best cornerback tandem in the National Football League, period. Going into a new system that's going to be able to help mold some of these young guys. So what is it going to take? We got the capital. What you have to understand is that we have so much capital that we're automatically going to be linked to, players of this magnitude, big money players who will require a return of, high draft picks for the future. You know what I mean? You're talking about cornerstone pieces. Teams don't want to let go of guys like Xavien Howard or Deshaun Watson. You know what I mean? Because that's going to leave a void that has to be filled. And it only can be filled by high draft picks, which gives you the higher probability of finding a replacement for these guys. So I understand why we're linked to so many people, but some things just might not happen. And the Xavien Howard thing is one of those things. You know what I mean? Realistically, you're going to have to move around more than a few $1,000,000. You're going to have to, in some way, mortgage the future. It probably won't cost you as much as it would have cost you to, look at a guy like Deshaun Watson, but it's going to cost you a first round pick or a second and a third or something like that. The Philadelphia Eagles have so many picks, it's almost scary. I'm almost afraid of what Howie Roseman is going to do, even though I think he turned in one of the best drafts he's turned in since he was a GM for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? I can say that. But at the same time, would you rather see what you have in the new system and then see where you should use your picks? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. You really can't miss the opportunity if you can to pair this guy with Darius Slay. Listen, this gives you the best tandem at the cornerback position. This gives you two islands that will be locked down 90% of the time. You know what I'm saying? And this puts the pressure on other teams in the division who thought that they were flying high, like the Giants, who went out there and got Galladay. You know what I'm saying? Like Xavien Howard and Slay could stop those guys. Do you remember when Darius Slay would talk about Megatron and how Megatron helped shape him as a cornerback by beating up on him in practice, so to speak? Made him a better cornerback, no doubt. Darius Slay, 3 multiple Pro Bowls in a row until he got to us and played under the flawed system of Jim Schwartz. Now, if you were to get a guy like Xavien Howard, steel will continue to sharpen steel. It's only going to make Devontae Smith and everybody else and Jalen Reagor and Travis Fulgham better. Because look at the guys that you got to practice against. You got to think about the development of the player. Bringing in a guy like this develops cornerbacks and develops wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? It's a win-win if you can do it. And it helps you. You know what I mean? It helps you. I think that Xavien Howard would be a more important piece than a Deshaun Watson because it'll cost you less and you'll still be able to develop core players. Xavien Howard also helps develop Jalen Hurts. You throwing against Darius Slay and Xavien Howard, you're going to throw some picks in practice. You know what I'm saying? You're going to learn the do's and the don'ts before you get to the game. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes perfect sense from that standpoint alone. But you have to understand that these things aren't just free. These things just don't fall out of the sky. Before we get excited about players that we don't have, you gotta always look at the pros and the cons. What is it going to cost you? It's supposed to be some good cornerbacks coming out next year. With the amount of picks that we got, we'll be able to land one of these good young guys and have them under a rookie deal, as opposed to, going after Xavien Howard and being, tied down to, cap constraints, which we're currently dealing with now. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your way to be cap free and have as much picks as possible. The Philadelphia Eagles are looking forward to a situation like that next year. This year, I think we just got to sit tight, do what we got to do, and still show that we're competitive and use those picks to enhance the team next year while having a lot of money to go after free agents. You're going to attract free agents next year. You got to wait your time. It's not our time right now to do it. It's just not your time to do it. It's almost like, going out there and buying some designer shoes when you got other obligations, when you don't have, you got to fix your credit. Listen, we got to fix our credit before we start house shopping. That's what it boiled down to. You got to fix your credit before you start looking at going to the jewelry store looking at Super Bowl rings. You got to fix your NFL credit first. You know what I'm saying? And our credit right now is not good. We don't have cap. All we got is a bunch of picks. You know what I'm saying? I say we ride this year out. We fix our NFL credit and then we go shopping. Let's stop getting our emotions and let's stop getting in our feelings about these type of things when we know that it's not the best for the team right now. Now, I agree. You got to get you another cornerback. But at that price tag, listen, it's more important to fix your credit first. It's more important to fix your credit first at that price tag. And I think we're on the road to, franchise financial freedom and being able to have our pick of the litter in upcoming free agency. I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep looking at all of these stars that disgruntled and keep thinking that they're going to be in the Eagles jersey. It doesn't happen like that. But would I be opposed to it? Would I be upset if you got Xavien Howard? Absolutely not. It's a move that, will change the franchise fortunes faster. And it's a move that'll cost less. So you'll still be able to, in some ways, attack, your NFL credit situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why I keep using that term, but you'll still be in some ways to attack your credit situation, improving your NFL credit score, and being ready to attack free agency next season. That's more important than wishing on a well and throwing away and mortgaging the future for guys like Deshaun Watson. So if I had to choose between Deshaun Watson and Xavien Howard, I would definitely choose Xavien Howard simply because it wouldn't cost that much. And I think that, he would understand that, coming to a defense that has a Fletcher Cox, that has a Darius Slay, that, what he's getting paid right now for the Dolphins is about right to have other competent defenders on the field with you at the same time. So, in conclusion, do I think that, we're one of the top guys to get him? I mean, due to the capital, yes. But I think ultimately it would. I'm 50-50 on this one. I mean, it could hurt just as much as it could help. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say I'm 70-30 on it because the development of the players and the experience that guys will get from having Slay, across our young wide receivers and Xavien Howard across from our young wide receivers would absolutely be priceless. So if you could get them, go get them. Let me know what you think in the comments, man.